When I think about a bio project, a video about what I do, what I want people to take away from that message, I gotta think about it for a second.
I remember the first time I met Mrs. Campbell was after a run, and it was actually even before she was a teacher for Micah, and my husband said, "Oh, Susie, this is Mrs. Campbell. This could be Micah's teacher." Jeff and Micah run all the time. Like, that's what they do. They go out in the neighborhood, they go out in the community, they run marathons. That is their time together. And it has been so much fun to be able to take one of Amy's joys of running and Micah and Jeff's joys of running and put those together, and they've run marathons together.
In an effort to make sure everybody gets what they need, it would be easy to think that kids belong in separate classrooms, doing different things. But if we can recognize that disabilities are barriers, they are not the student.
I mean, I would say the inclusion piece has been huge here. I know Jackson loves school. He's constantly talking about school. He's constantly talking about friends or what he did or Miss Campbell or paras or even what he had for lunch that day. I mean, it's amazing. We learned from the paras that Jackson will actually eat salad. You know, just simple things like that where, you know, now when he comes home, because, you know, another big thing that we've had to kind of overcome with him is just communication overall.
Many of our students have challenges that impact the way they can communicate with their peers, with their teachers, with their families. And my job is to find strategies that are creative for them to be able to communicate and express themselves. And those strategies could be anywhere from using communication devices, or using technology or other strategies just to get them to be included in what they're doing here at school.
In speech, you can understand him clearly, but as far as articulating and having a full conversation with him, and I've really noticed that since he's been in this program, his speech and just his overall communication has just tremendously increased. So when he comes home from school, we can say, "What'd you do today?" "I had pizza," or "I had salad," or "Who did you play with today?" And he'll name a friend, or he'll talk about, you know, "We did this today," or, you know. So in that regard, I would say that, yeah, he's made tremendous growth here.
You run with Micah because Micah loves running. And I also love running. Friendship is based on shared mutual interests. And so I think I spend a lot of time understanding my students' interests, understanding the interests of other students in the school, and making sure that all the students can see the similarities they have with other students. And I have to be able to see that with the families who I serve and my community members as well. We have more alike than not, and our differences make us special and unique. And we share time together to build trust and to build relationship. And that's where we're gonna build each other up.
I think some of the big things are that kids like Jackson are valuable. They're valuable to society. They're not worth less than other kids. They're not, Down syndrome and other disabilities aren't things to be afraid of. They're worthy of our love and acceptance, as a society. And that there's, not everything's figured out yet, in the school systems or, in the support services that are offered. Everything's not perfect. No one knows all the answers or how to best teach or what the right percentage of inclusion in the classroom versus, pulling out into the, special education classrooms. But I think it starts with people who care, parents who care and want to solve problems and be a important part of these kids' lives, because teachers like Amy can make a huge impact on Jackson's trajectory.
Form a perfect triple figure eight, leaping and looping with his little striped friends. I'm already laughing.
She's very happy this morning. Happy. Very happy.
Yes.
We share a run together, but the run is different for both of us. I'm running on my feet and I can see. I don't have to fully understand his experience to know what barriers he has. And so for him to enjoy the run, we put him in Orange Crush and we push. For him to enjoy the run, I know that he can't see what I can see, but I don't know what he can see. So if I see something great, I'm gonna share that with him. But when you run 26 miles with another person and you prioritize their needs and their experience, when I find those highlights to improve his journey, it improves mine. And a marathon with Micah goes a lot faster.
I think my favorite part of when they come through, because I don't run the marathons, when they come through the different places where we see them on the course, is hearing Amy tell Micah what she's seeing and what she's experiencing. And I think that that's her way of sharing that with him. Micah loves to be outside and he loves to be in his running wheelchair. And he when he's not out there, sometimes he gets a little gritchy with us, like, hey, let's go for a run, let's go for a walk. So, but I love that they can share that together.
The sun is coming out and the shadows on the ground. Oh my gosh, we're going to see Micah. Good morning, Micah. I'm glad you're here today.
The weather. What is the weather? The weather today. What is the weather? What will she say? Liana, won't you tell us what the weather is today?
I've had the privilege of, kind of seeing Amy from so many different angles because, as a father of a student in her class, as a fellow colleague in the school district, as somebody that was working with her to support families, I've seen how she goes above and beyond to really make sure that families get all that they need to be successful. So she's the best of who we are. It's hard not to get emotional talking about Amy.
What color do you want to see? Pinpoint what I want people to take away. I want them to watch the video and find one thing that they can do in their life that can bring some community. Like, enrich the community they're in, broaden the community they're in, help them build relationships outside of what they would normally feel comfortable building relationships. I want people to understand that they are inclusion and that there's little Amy Campbell in all of us, and I'm not doing something that we can't all do. I'm just doing it as hard as I can.
Micah, your friend, he's there. We're gonna have to tell everyone. Kelly and Bev. We're gonna have to tell Evan. He's right there. One of the neighbors. Don't hit Kevin. Oh my goodness, too bad he's not screaming. We'll have to go run tell your mom. Run tell your mom.